Hey, yo, this is just a little vocal warm-up here on the microphone. Or as we used to say back in the day, when I started rapping, I was 12 years old when I wrote my first rap, and it was on paper, and I started flowing from that point forward. So from then, I was in studios all up and down the West Coast, yo, with my homeboys, my childhood friends, from my peers from my neighborhood, the Riverside District 151. It is the Riverside 151 because if you take all the letters of Riverside Hood, Riversidehod, without the in front of the, Riverside Hood. So if you just say Riverside Hood without THE in front of it, so you're not saying the Riverside Hood. If you just say Riverside Hood and you take all those letters and you alphanumeric atize them, in other words, if you translate R equals this, I equals that, V equals that, in terms of their position in the alphabet, so alphanumerically, Riverside Hood equals 151. So we've always had this saying that though there are hundreds of us throughout our city, and literally thousands, from our district of the Northeast Riverside District going back hundreds of years, because the history of our neighborhood there on that timeline is hundreds of years old. There are thousands of us, but we have a saying, as a matter of tradition, 151 Riverside soldiers. So, at any rate, man, I grew up in studios, man, since I was a kid. And even before that, when I was really young, even younger than 12, before I actually was writing raps, I was doing reel-to-reel tape. So the old school reel-to-reel tape. And I would do comedy sketches with nunchucks when I was practicing to be a ninja. As a kid, I would take nunchucks and I would bang them together like clack, clack. And then I would say crazy stuff like, "Oh, what you doing in the back of the audience with them sticks and them nunchucks, trying to, mug people inside the, comedy whatever house club?" And then I'd be like, "Ow," making sounds and stuff like that. It was silly and totally absurd, but I was actually recording that kind of stuff when I was like, oh man, I don't know, probably 8 or 9 years old. And then I moved up to, as I said, writing raps when I was 12 years old. And then from then I was recording in studios. I used to record at a studio that Microsoft used called Jimmy Free Recordings in Shoreline, Washington, along the coast, which is a really dope studio, man. And they were really good and nice to us, man. They were awesome there. Man, really good people, really good folks, man. And so we recorded a lot of commercially viable products there and maintain those relationships, man. And so we were, in studios all over. We had our own studios. I've had many studios of my own that I've owned, that I have leased out to friends and had friends come and record in. And my friends have had their own studios. And I've been in studios in different states in North America. So I grew up, man, as a kid before the age of 13 in studios, going around and recording at different locations. I was in Seattle at a studio that Heart, the famous band, group, the all-women group, Heart. I was there at that studio. And some other places, man, where some very famous people have been and have recorded music. So I've had those privileges, and it's been an honor, man, to walk through the same corridors and halls and studio chambers that some of the most legendary vocal recording artists have been in.